Mount Everest, the name sounds grand, doesn't it? It speaks of immense height and an incredible challenge. This mountain is more than just rock and ice, it's a legend. It stands as the highest point on our planet. Imagine being there, looking down at everything below. The air is thin. The world stretches out below. For many, it's the ultimate test. A place where human limits are pushed to the extreme. A place where dreams come true. And sometimes, tragically, are broken. It's a silent giant, watching us all from its throne in the Himalayas. This massive peak is in Asia. It sits right on the border between Nepal to the south and Tibet, an autonomous region of China to the north. Its official height is an impressive 8,848.86 meters. That's over 29,031 feet above sea level. Think about flying in an airplane. Commercial jets often fly at similar heights, but here people try to climb it with their own feet. It's almost like touching the sky. This mountain has many names. In Nepal they call it Sagarmatha, which means forehead in the sky. In Tibet it's Chomolungma, mother goddess of the world. These names show deep respect. The pull of Everest is strong. It attracts climbers from all over the world. They come with hope in their hearts. They come with determination in their eyes. They train for years. They save money. They get ready for the huge difficulties. Why do they do it? George Mallory, a famous early climber, was asked this. His answer was simple: because it's there. That simple phrase captures the spirit of Everest. It's a challenge that exists. And humans feel a deep need to face these challenges. It's a journey into the unknown, both outside and inside. So we begin our journey to understand this mountain. Let's learn its history. Let's explore its grand nature. Let's meet the people who live in its shadow and those who dare to climb its icy slopes. Everest is a place of harsh beauty and extreme danger. It's a testament to the power of nature, and it's a stage for incredible human dramas. Join me as we travel to the top of the world. Let's uncover the secrets of this magnificent peak. It's a story that keeps unfolding with every new sunrise over its majestic summit. How did such a giant mountain come to be? It didn't happen overnight, not even in 1,000 years. The story of Everest's creation is a story of immense geological forces. It's a tale written in rock over millions of years. Imagine two enormous pieces of the Earth's crust, like giant tectonic plates. These plates are always moving very, very slowly. About 50 million years ago, the Indo-Australian plate began a slow-motion collision. It crashed into the Eurasian plate. It was a monumental event unfolding over eons. This colossal crash was the beginning. The Indian plate, being denser, started to slide underneath the Eurasian plate. This process is called subduction. But the land masses were too light to completely disappear. So instead of one just smoothly diving under the other, the edges crumpled up. They folded and wrinkled like a rug being pushed against a wall. The immense pressure forced the land upwards. This upward push created the Himalayan mountain range, a vast chain of towering peaks. And among them, the mightiest of all, Mount Everest, began its slow climb towards the sky. The rocks that make up Mount Everest tell this ancient story. The very top is made of marine limestone. Yes, rock that was once at the bottom of an ocean. This shows just how much uplift has happened. Fossils of ancient sea creatures can be found high up on its slopes, a silent testament to its watery past. Below the limestone there are layers of metamorphic rocks. Rocks transformed by incredible heat and pressure during the continental collision. These layers are like pages in Earth's history book, revealing the dramatic formation of the mountain. The mountain is still growing, by the way, a few millimeters a year, as the plates continue their slow dance. So, when we look at Everest, we're seeing the result of Earth's powerful inner workings. It's a dynamic process, still in action. The mountain isn't just a static pile of rock, it's a living, growing part of our planet's constantly changing surface. This geological story is crucial. It explains the mountain's height, it explains its rugged terrain, and it sets the stage for the incredible challenges climbers face. Understanding its birth helps us appreciate its grandeur even more. It's a reminder of the immense power and timescale of nature's creative forces. Long before anyone reached the top, Everest already cast a long shadow. For many, it was a far-off peak, almost like a legend. For the local Sherpa and Tibetan people, it was a holy place, a home for gods and spirits. They respected it but usually didn't try to climb to the very top. The idea of conquering Everest as a climbing challenge came much later. It arrived with Western explorers and mapmakers in the 1800s. They were mapping out the great game of colonial interests. and they found this surprisingly tall mountain. The British Empire, with its huge reach, showed a special interest. In 1852, the Indian mathematician Radhanath Sikdar, working for the Great Trigonometrical Survey of India, figured out its height. He declared it the highest peak in the world. At first, it was called Peak 15. Later, it was renamed after Sir George Everest. He was the British Surveyor General of India, even though he himself never actually saw the mountain named after him. This naming sparked a new kind of ambition, the ambition to be the first to step on its summit, a symbol of imperial and national pride. The early 1900s saw the first organized expeditions. These were mostly British efforts. Tibet was closed to outsiders for a long time. Nepal was also very strict, so the first tries had to be made from the Tibetan or northern side. These were huge undertakings. Imagine the planning: no modern gear, no accurate weather forecasts. They faced unknown land. They fought against extreme cold and altitude sickness. The British Reconnaissance Expedition of 1921 was the first to really explore the higher parts of the mountain. They mapped out possible routes. They learned tough lessons about the mighty environment. Then came the famous attempts of the 1920s. George Mallory, a name now linked to early Everest exploration, was a key figure. He took part in expeditions in 1921, 1922, and 1924. The 1922 expedition saw the first human deaths on Everest. 7 Sherpa porters were sadly killed in an avalanche. This was a harsh reminder of the mountain's dangers. Mallory and Andrew Sandy Irvine made a final fateful attempt in 1924. They were last seen heading strongly for the summit. Then, they vanished. Whether they reached the top before they died remains one of climbing's biggest mysteries. Their efforts, though not successful in reaching the summit and returning, paved the way for future generations. The quest to conquer Everest kept going after World War II. The political situation had changed. Nepal opened its borders to foreign expeditions in 1949. This let them get to the south route, through the Khumbu Icefall and the western Kwawem. People thought this route was more doable. Several expeditions, including Swiss tries in 1952, got very close. They pushed the route higher than ever before. They learned really important things about the conditions and the best way to go. Everything was set for a final successful push. The whole world watched, holding its breath. In 1953, a big British expedition led by Colonel John Hunt arrived in Nepal. It was a very carefully planned operation. It had the best climbers, the best gear available at the time, and a strong team of Sherpa guides. Among the team members were a beekeeper from New Zealand, Edmund Hillary, and a very experienced Sherpa climber, Tenzing Norgay. Tenzing had already been on several Everest expeditions. He knew the mountain very well. He had amazing strength and could bounce back at high altitudes. The team worked together, setting up camps, fixing ropes, and carrying supplies up the mountain. The expedition faced many challenges: the dangerous Khumbu Icefall, the tiring effects of altitude, the unpredictable weather. They set up a bunch of camps, slowly making their way up. Finally, on May 28, 1953, 2 climbers, Tom Bourdillon and Charles Evans, made the first attempt at the summit. They reached the south summit, very close to the top. But they had to turn back because they were so tired and had problems with their oxygen gear. This cleared the way for the second team, Edmund Hillary and Tenzing Norgay. They left Camp 9, the highest one, early in the morning on May 29th. After a really tough climb, facing the hard final obstacle now known as the Hillary Step, they reached the summit. At 11:30 in the morning on May 29, 1953, Edmund Hillary and Tenzing Norgay were at the highest point on Earth. History was made. Hillary famously took a picture of Tenzing posing with his ice axe. Tenzing buried some sweets and biscuits in the snow as an offering. They only spent about 15 minutes at the top. News of their success reached the world on June 2nd, the day of Queen Elizabeth II's coronation. It was a time of huge celebration, a win for human toughness and teamwork. The roof of the world had finally been reached. Section 5. The Thin Air and the Icy Embrace. The Challenges of Everest. Climbing Mount Everest isn't just a very long, steep hike. It's a battle against an environment that's actively trying to stop human life. The challenges are huge. They test your body. They test your mind. They test the spirit of every person who dares to try the climb. Maybe the biggest challenge is the altitude. As you go higher, the air gets thinner. This means there's less oxygen in each breath. Our bodies aren't built to work well in these conditions. This lack of oxygen can lead to altitude sickness, which is a serious and even deadly condition. Above 8,000 meters, or about 26,000 feet, is an area sadly known as the death zone. Here, oxygen levels are so low that the human body can't get used to it. It starts to shut down. Even with extra oxygen, climbers can only spend a limited time at these heights. Every moment spent in the death zone is a risk. Your judgment gets cloudy, your physical strength goes down. Simple tasks become incredibly hard. Frostbite is always a threat as the extreme cold mixes with poor blood flow. The body is literally dying slowly. It's a race against time. Then, there's the weather. Everest has its own special weather. It can change quickly and violently. Snowstorms can pop up with little warning. Hurricane-force winds can rip across the open ridges. Temperatures can drop to unbelievably low levels, way below freezing. These conditions make climbing incredibly dangerous. They increase the risk of frostbite, hypothermia, and accidents. Avalanches are another big danger. Huge amounts of snow and ice can break loose and tumble down the slope with a roar. They can bury climbers or sweep them away. The Khumbu Icefall, a constantly moving glacier on the Nepalese route, is especially famous for being unstable and for its ice towers collapsing. Besides these clear dangers, there are the physical demands. The sheer effort of climbing at extreme altitude is totally exhausting. Climbers carry heavy backpacks. They move over steep ice slopes and rocky ground. They need to be skilled at using ice axes, crampons, and ropes. The mental toll is also huge. Climbers face fear, being alone, and extreme discomfort for weeks, even months. They need to stay focused and make important decisions in life-threatening situations. This takes incredible mental strength. When you put all these things together, it makes Everest one of the most challenging things you can do on Earth. It's a true test of what humans can handle. Section 6. Chomolungma and Sagarmatha, Land and Legend. Mount Everest isn't alone, it's part of a huge area that's rich in culture. For the people who live in its shadow, especially the Sherpas of Nepal and the Tibetans, the mountain is holy. It's deeply woven into their spiritual beliefs and daily lives. In Nepal, as we mentioned, it's Sagarmatha. This name shows its huge presence, like a forehead that touches the sky. In Tibet, it's Chomolungma, the mother goddess of the world. These names aren't just labels, they carry deep respect. They see the mountain and its nearby peaks as homes for gods. The Sherpa people are famous in the world of mountain climbing. They are a group of people who moved from eastern Tibet to the Solu-Khumbu region of Nepal centuries ago. They have an amazing genetic adaptation to high altitudes. This lets them do incredible feats of strength and endurance in the thin air. For generations, they've lived and worked in this tough environment. They are mostly Buddhists. Their lives are guided by ideas of kindness and respect for nature. Monasteries, prayer flags, and mani stones, stones carved with prayers, are common sights all over the Everest region. They are constant reminders of their spiritual connection to the land. When climbing expeditions started coming, it brought big changes for the Sherpa community. It created new ways for them to make money. Many Sherpas became guides, porters, and essential climbing support staff. Their knowledge of the mountains, their strength, and their bravery have been key to the success of many expeditions. People like Tenzing Norgay became world-famous heroes. But this involvement has also brought problems. The dangers of climbing at high altitudes are very real for the Sherpas. Many have lost their lives on the mountain. There are also worries about how tourism affects their old ways of life and the delicate mountain environment. On the Tibetan side, the mountain also has huge cultural and spiritual meaning. The Rongbuk Monastery, which is near the North Base Camp, is one of the highest monasteries in the world. It has long been a place where people go on religious journeys. From there, Chomolungma looks like a grand white pyramid. For centuries, monks and local people have looked at it with wonder. The relationship between the local people and the mountain is one of deep respect. It's a place to be honored, not just conquered. This deep spiritual connection gives us a different way to look at Everest. One that's different from just seeing it as a place for sports or adventure. It reminds us that this giant of the earth is, for many, a sacred mother. Section 7. Whispers on the Wind. Everest Secrets. Mount Everest is a place of big dramas and epic tales, but it also holds many smaller, fascinating secrets and fun facts. These details add to its mystery. They paint a richer picture of this amazing environment. For example, what about life on its slopes? While the highest parts are bare rock and ice, The lower valleys are full of unique plants and animals. You can find beautiful rhododendron forests. They bloom in bright colors in the spring. Higher up, tough alpine plants hold on to life. Small, strong flowers pop up from the rocky ground. It's a testament to how tough nature is. Animal life is also surprisingly varied in the Everest region, though not on the very top, of course. The Himalayan tahr, a type of wild goat, can be seen on steep slopes. The shy snow leopard, a creature of myths and legends, roams these mountains, though sightings are incredibly rare. There are also many bird species, including the bearded vulture or lammergeier, with its impressive wingspan. Even some spiders have been found at surprisingly high altitudes. Jumping spiders have been found as high as 22,000 feet, or 6,700 meters. They survive by eating tiny insects carried by the wind. Life finds a way even in these extreme places. Many incredible stories and records are tied to Everest. Think about the oldest person to reach the top, or the youngest, or the fastest climb. Yuichiro Miura from Japan reached the summit at 80 years old. Jordan Romero, an American, reached the top at just 13 years old. Appa Sherpa and Furbatashi Sherpa have reached the summit an incredible 21 times each. These achievements show amazing human abilities. There are also stories of amazing survival. And sadly, stories of tragedy. The mountain keeps a quiet record of everyone who has walked its path. Each trip adds another layer to its rich and complex history. An ongoing mystery, as we've mentioned, is that of Mallory and Irvine. Did they reach the top in 1924, almost 3 decades before Hillary and Tenzing? Mallory's body was found in 1999, remarkably preserved. But the camera they carried, which might hold the answer, has never been found. This what-if question continues to fascinate historians and climbers. It adds an unsolved mystery to the story of Everest. These fun facts, these stories, these whispers on the wind, all add to the lasting appeal of the world's highest mountain. They remind us that it's a place of ongoing discovery. Section 8. Beyond the Summit. Modern Mountaineering and its Toll. The conquering of Everest in 1953 opened the floodgates. What was once an almost impossible dream became an achievable goal, though still incredibly difficult. Mountaineering on Everest has changed a lot since those early days. The gear is much better now. Lighter oxygen systems, better clothes, and talking through satellites have changed everything. The weather reports are much more accurate. This lets teams pick better times for their tries at the top. These new technologies have made the mountain easier for more climbers to get to, not just the best national teams. Companies that offer trips are now a big part of Everest. Companies offer guided climbs for people who can pay the big fees. This has led to a lot more people trying to reach the top each year. During the short climbing times in the spring, the paths can get very crowded. Famous pictures have shown long lines of climbers waiting on the ropes, especially near the Hillary Step or on the path to the top. This traffic jam situation causes serious safety worries. Delays in the death zone can be deadly. It also changes how climbing feels, turning a wild adventure into something more managed and, for some, less pure. This increase in people has also brought up worries about the environment. For many years, Everest was sadly known as the world's highest trash dump. Teams left behind tons of trash, oxygen tanks, food wrappers, old tents, and climbing gear. Human waste also became a big problem. Luckily, people are becoming more aware of this problem. Cleanup trips are now planned often. Rules have been put in place that make climbers bring their trash back down. The idea of pack it in, pack it out is slowly catching on. But keeping Everest clean is still a constant challenge. Trying to climb Everest has also cost many lives. More than 300 people have died on its slopes. Snowslides, falls, sickness from high places, and being too cold are the main reasons. Many bodies stay on the mountain because saving them is often too dangerous or impossible. Every death is a sad event, a strong reminder of how tough the mountain is. Even with the dangers, people are still drawn to it. For some, it's about doing something great themselves. For others, it's about pushing their limits. For the Sherpa people, it's often a very important way to earn money. Modern climbing on Everest is a complicated mix of wanting to achieve, business, danger, and a growing understanding of being responsible for this famous peak. Section 9. The Enduring Call of Everest, a symbol of adventure. So, what is it about Mount Everest that continues to captivate us? Why, after all these years, after so many climbs, does it still hold such a powerful pull on the human imagination? It's more than just its height. It's more than just the physical challenge. Everest has become a symbol of the ultimate adventure, a symbol of human aspiration, a symbol of our desire to explore the limits of our world, and ourselves. It represents the pinnacle, literally and figuratively, of what we can strive for. The story of Everest is a story of courage, of resilience, of teamwork. From the early pioneers who faced the unknown with basic gear, to Hillary and Tenzing who achieved what many thought was impossible, to the countless climbers, known and unknown, who have tested their grit on its slopes. Every climb, every attempt, adds to this rich tapestry of human effort. It's a place where dreams are pursued with unwavering determination, where the human spirit is pushed to its absolute limit, and where the rewards for those who succeed are measured not just by reaching a physical point, but by the profound personal journey undertaken. Of course, the story of Everest isn't without its shadows. We've seen the environmental impact, we've seen the concerns about overcrowding and commercialization. We acknowledge the tragic loss of life. These are important issues that need ongoing attention and responsible management. The future of Everest climbing depends on finding a balance between allowing people to experience this incredible place and protecting its fragile environment and sacred character. It demands respect, not just ambition. A respect for the mountain, for its local cultures, and for the inherent dangers. But even with these complexities, the call of Everest endures. It stands as a majestic silent sentinel, a reminder of nature's raw power and beauty, and a testament to the enduring human quest for exploration and discovery. It challenges us to look up, to dream big, and to dare to attempt what seems beyond our grasp. As long as it stands there, colossal and magnificent, Mount Everest will continue to inspire awe. It will continue to draw adventurers. It will forever remain a powerful symbol in the grand theater of human achievement. The roof of the world still has many stories to tell. If you like this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. And leave a comment. That really helps the channel grow a lot, you know? And it helps us make more videos like this.